Get back in here. Sit down. What's your problem? Be quiet. Be quiet, or I'll hold you in contempt of court. You might want to reconsider representing yourself, Mr. Colton.
Today we've got a case involving a sovereign citizen who thought representing himself in court would be a smart move. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Things really took a turn when he decided to make fun of the judge on his way out. That was a big mistake, because judges have the authority to keep order in their courtroom, and this one wasn't about to let that slide. It turned into a pretty interesting moment, and I've got to say, I really like how this judge handled it. Firm, clear, and not letting things get out of control. Let me know in the comments whether you think the judge was too strict here, or if it was exactly what needed to happen.
Court is now calling City of Pontiac versus Philip Colton, case number 23 TRD 802. Good morning. Mr. Colton, did you understand all of the rights and plea options I explained to everyone?
For the most part, if I'm not wrong, I am entitled to a crash report or an accident report, I should say.
Well, if you're not wrong, then you want to plead not guilty today, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, and that can be obtained by you and or your attorney from the law director or the prosecutor's office.
I have asked, I went to records and it is not available.
Okay, well, we can deal with that later. This is your initial appearance hearing. Did you have any questions about the rights and plea options I explained to you earlier?
No, sir.
Did you receive a copy of this traffic citation that was issued on November 4th, 2020?
Yes, yes.
Okay, you are charged with one count of stopping after or failing to stop after an accident or leaving the scene of crash or accident. A violation of section 335.12A1 of the Pontiac City Ordinances. If you're convicted of this offense, it's first degree misdemeanor. If you're convicted of this offense, you face a maximum 6 months in jail and a maximum fine of $1,000. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Also, if there is anyone who is damaged as a result of your actions and you're convicted of this offense, the court could order restitution, order you to pay restitution to that victim of up to $5,000. Do you understand that as a possible consequence? Finally, if you're convicted of this offense, you face a minimum license suspension of 6 months up to a maximum 3 years. So do you understand that as a possible consequence? And how do you wish to plead to this charge? The court will accept your not guilty plea. Are you asking the court to consider appointing an attorney to represent you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, will you be retaining an attorney?
Yes, sir. I'll be representing myself.
That's not a wise thing, Mr. Colton, to represent yourself. You're not an attorney. You don't know the legal processes. So I
do have that right, though, right?
You sure do, sir.
Okay.
So you wish to represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
This is where things really start to fall apart for him. I honestly can't understand why someone wouldn't want a lawyer in a situation like this, unless they've been influenced by the sovereign citizen community. He's literally facing jail time, and trying to defend yourself almost never ends well. Here's a quick fact. Studies show that people who represent themselves are convicted at much higher rates compared to those who have an attorney. In felony cases, over 80% of self-represented defendants end up guilty. That's a staggering number, and it just shows how risky it is to go in without proper legal help. Maybe he thought he could handle it with what he learned online, but that clearly doesn't stack up in a courtroom. If any of you have an idea why someone would actually choose to represent themselves in a serious case, let me know in the comments, because I just can't make sense of it. Alright, let's jump back into the hearing.
Do you read and write English for the record? I'll provide you a document. It's entitled Waiver of Counsel. Take a few minutes to read it. If you find it acceptable, you can sign in date at the bottom. Court finds the defendant has executed in open court the written waiver of counsel document. In this case, Mr. Colton has decided to represent himself, so he will be pro se. Okay, Mr. Colton, I do not have a written bond recommendation from the prosecutor or law director, as this was a citation issued by the police officer, so I have to ask you a few questions. Do you live, the ticket has you at 5 West Main?
Yes,
What's the apartment number?
37.
37 in Conneaut. How long have you lived there? 4 years? See, Mr. Colton has no prior criminal history in this court. And his last traffic violation was back in 2008. Mr. Colton does not represent to be a flight risk. I will set bond in the amount of $5,000 personal recognizance. And I will set this case for a pre-trial conference in the near future. We're being released on your own recognizance, Mr. Colton. You're going to go, when you leave the courtroom, you're going to go to the clerk's window. They're going to give you a date and time for your next hearing. That will be the only notice you receive from the court, so make sure you put it on your calendar. If you fail to appear for that hearing, I'll revoke your bond and then I'll issue a bench warrant for your arrest, okay? You could also, the city of Conneaut, have $5,000 if you're found, if you aren't here when you're supposed to be here. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I am not your attorney. I am not your legal advisor. So if you're going to ask me, like you're not the first one who's going to ask me legal questions. I cannot answer your legal question, only procedure. So you have any procedural questions for me?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
I would like to know why I am not getting an accident report.
Mr. Colton, you're going to represent yourself. There are what we call rules of discovery. So I would advise you to talk to the prosecutor or law director's office, which is across the hall, and then they'll provide that to you.
Is there a reason you can't?
This is where we get into the situation where a non-lawyer isn't familiar with the procedures. The court doesn't provide discovery. Discovery is exchanged between the parties.
How come the records office will not give me a copy?
Talk to the law director's office. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Get back in here.
Sir, get back in court.
Sit down. What's your problem?
I believe I'm getting railroaded.
You just pled not guilty to a charge. I found you not guilty. I've accepted the not guilty plea. Be quiet! Be quiet! Or I'll hold you in contempt of court. Now, why do you feel railroaded? Because you went to the police department and asked for a copy of the report. You went to the wrong office. And any attorney would know that. You go to the law director's office, which is prosecuting this case. And you don't get it from the court. Any attorney knows that. You might want to reconsider representing yourself, Mr. Colton. Okay. Do you have any other noises you want to make before you leave this courtroom? Then get out of here without making a noise.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but I seriously doubt this guy walked out of that courtroom with the same confidence he had walking in. Now, I will say the judge might have come down a little hard, but honestly, I get it. Being a judge isn't easy, and dealing with people like this day after day has to be exhausting. These so-called sovereign citizens think they've uncovered some secret legal loophole, but in reality, they just waste everyone's time. And here's what I really don't understand. Why do they keep insisting on defending themselves? If you're facing possible jail time, wouldn't you want a lawyer who actually knows the law? Public defenders may not be perfect, but they're still far better than trying to build a defense off of something you read online. The numbers back it up too. People who represent themselves almost always lose. Yet these guys keep repeating the same mistake, expecting a different outcome. This hearing was definitely explosive, and while I think the judge may have been a bit harsh, I also understand why he had no patience left. What do you think? Was the judge too tough, or was it deserved? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoy content like this, make sure to like and subscribe. I post every single day, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and take care.